I remembered that when I was in school, everybody said if there's one place on earth they would respect people's rights, it's the United States.
The United States, it was my favorite country. It was my dream country.
Democracy.
Security. Freedom of expression.
Education.
Opportunity for me and my family.
Dignity of all people.
I'm coming to America because America is like a wonderland. I'm a refugee. I'm come from Iraq.
I was a refugee about 28 years ago.
I'm currently a Cuban political refugee here in the Cambridge area.
I'm a journalist. I am from Ethiopia. I'm here as an asylee. I can't go back to my country.
My wife Zahra and my daughter Gasak are coming from Iraq.
I'm a Haitian refugee. I left my country to come here. Now, my time here is limited.
Refugees flee their countries because of war, because of natural disasters, because of persecution, because of their religion or their race.
Refugees can't return to their country because they are fundamentally marginalized and disenfranchised and face serious harm, and their government can't protect them. To be a refugee, there has to be a real rupture between you and your country. The number of refugees in the world is at a 15-year high.
Only 1% of the people that get displaced actually gets resettled.
My parents died when I was 8, and that I was living alone in Haiti without any support. In Haiti, if you're an orphan, you're on the street. You really have no help, and there's nobody to guide you. In Haiti, there are a lot of so-called schools, but the majority of kids don't go to school because they simply can't. Out of 500, you might see 200 go, and there's no room for the remaining 300 of them. Even though some people go to school, it's almost as if they don't go at all. With the small percentage of schools that are good, even the students that go there cannot really learn anything because there's no good nutrition. You can't go to school if in the morning, when there's no food at school, how can you learn? When it comes to education in Haiti, it's just not there.
My status here is Cuban asylee. I'm in the standard procedure of being deported right now. I studied computer science in the University of Havana. I work on IT. You are paid from $15 to $25 a month. It's impossible to live with your wages in Cuba. Your income is not enough. No matter where you work, you won't get enough to feed your family. So most people there live through the black market economy or being supported by families and relatives who don't live in the country. My brother fled the country. When your family flees the country, they start bothering you. The state police started to harass me with telephone calls. They searched the house. They wouldn't say what they were looking for. I had to quit my job because I was asked to join the Communist Party. I would say no, and they would let me know that I had to go. And after that, I applied for some more jobs, but there they required references in previous jobs. And with that, things that had happened in my last position, I wouldn't get another job. I just don't share their ideas. Everything is more psychological than physical. If your family is abroad and you no longer have a job, your family needs to support you, so they'll be sending dollars to Cuba. And that's what the government wants.
So the US has a law, we call it wet feet or dry feet. So the US technically allow Cuban to apply for asylum if they set their feet on land. So if they try to come here, let's say by boat, and then the Coast Guard can easily intercept them and then pull them out. So they try to jump down and swim over. As long as they can stand, on the soil. Even the water up here, they are allowed to get in. So they are given the opportunity to stay and apply for asylum.
When I was in my country in Iraq, I was security guard in a green zone, working with U.S. Army, maybe on the road contact with those guys called militia or Al-Qaeda. Exactly when the weather is not good, like it's a storm and very dusty, it's more mortar coming because I can't see where's the mortar, and I can't calling my guys. When I was in my job, I get some threat. They call my brother. They said maybe today Ammar is dead. My family is very worried about me, and my mother is crying about me. Going again to my work. There is a big lorry coming inside the ministry, and suddenly, boom. After the boom, you cannot see anything. I can't see my hand. The window's broken. I don't know what's happened, and I get 2 shots on my head. At that time, maybe I die. So I decided to move to another place. So I decided to come to America.
The asylum process takes a really, really long time. So people have children who are in dangerous situations, and they're separated from, and they were forced to leave because of the danger to their own life.
I came here because I was invited by the United States government to attend the United States presidential debate. Stay here for 15 days, and I know the situation in Ethiopia is not good right now, especially related with freedom of expression. Many journalists are thrown to jail related with anti-terrorism law. It's very funny. A journalist is accused of terrorism. If you write something that criticizes the government, you will be regarded as terrorist. More than 11 journalists are charged with this terrorism law, and most of them are sentenced to 18 years imprisonment and life imprisonment. So if you write something that criticizes the government, you are always in danger. Either you will be called by phone, somebody will call by phone and they warn you. And people, whenever you go somewhere, people will approach you, we will kill you. My fate will not be different from these people if I stayed there. So I decided to stay here and apply for asylum status.
People have gone through situations of tremendous torture and tremendous trauma, and just trying to adjust to a new life, having gone through the kind of trauma of persecution, is very, very challenging. Getting work permission, getting a job. People who are applying for asylum don't get work permission automatically. They have to wait 6 months before they'll be able to get work permission. They're separated from their families. I'd say that's one of the biggest part. There's a right to family reunification, but it takes a really, really long time. There's no right to legal services. And most of the legal services programs are prohibited from representing immigrants or people without status. This is a big problem. Your chances of getting asylum if you're represented are 5 times greater than if you're not represented.
When I come to America, I want to change my life. In my life, there is called practical life, and there is a dream. Really, I need jobs. Left my wife in Iraq. I can't imagine my life without her. She's inspiring me.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future when it comes to my immigration status. I already have my 3rd court appointment coming up, but I don't have a lawyer to represent me. I couldn't find anyone to take my case. That's a big question mark. I don't know what's going to happen.
I have been in this business for so long, and the reason I'm still here is that, I love these clients.
I've seen some people come through this office that have incredible, amazing talents, and the possibilities that they could have here and the amount that they could contribute to not only our economy, but just to our society, and teaching people about different cultures and where they come from.
They all have in common that they are survivors. They are amazing people that have amazing stories, and they are special. They have a special energy that comes with having gone through so much and having still got the energy to start over, start a new life in a new place where they don't speak the language, they don't know anybody, and they're survivors.
I think the immigrants and refugees really embody the American spirit. They are the American spirit. They are what made America. They're wonderful people who've been through a lot, and we owe them as a country, we owe as a moral and a legal obligation to give them protection.
As you have learned in this video, refugees are strong and resilient people that have faced tremendous trauma and are still facing huge challenges here in the U.S. Catholic Charities helps them in the process of adjusting to their new life, but any additional support really helps. A donation of $200 can provide groceries for our families for up to a week, and a $70 donation can buy a T-Pass that will help a refugee get to and from English language classes and job interviews for a month. You can make a donation online by visiting www.ccab.org or in person or by mail at the Labouré Center in South Boston. Even if you can't consider making a monetary donation, please consider that by showing your sensitivity and awareness towards refugees, you really are helping, making them feel more a part of the community, and you really are making a difference in their integration process.